Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of February, and we all feel it. There is something coming. There is a very serious tone this month, and I'm here to tell you why. Because Saturn is the most influential planet of this month. Before I get going, I have to remind everyone, sign up for my free newsletter. Go to my website, galacticcenter.org. There you will get all of my predictions delivered to your email address, absolutely free every week. And another up-and-coming event I have going on is the semester 1 to my university is going to begin February 7th. So if you have always wanted to learn astrology, become my student, join a community, go to universityofvedicastrology.com. The class begins again February 7th, so get ready. Now, let's get going and let's talk about February. February is a month of seriousness, of discipline, focus, and waking up to reality, because that's what Saturn is, reality. And this is the time that everything that has been not making so much sense is going to add up. And if you want to see it, it's very clear. Saturn is opening us up to the reality of the way things are. Now, the reason why I'm saying Saturn is so important this month is because so many planets are going to be in Capricorn. And yes, I use the sidereal Vedic system of the true placements of where the planets are in the heavens, not the more familiar tropical Western placements. So almost all of the planets, well, not all of them, but 5 planets. I'm looking at Mars, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Pluto. At one point, even with the moon at the new moon, will all be in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn is where the focus is. What does Capricorn rule? Government, leadership, career, business, work, and even finances, because it deals with how things are controlled in our governments. So what we're going to see is a rude awakening as to what has been going on. As I say, the facts are all out there, but sometimes people choose not to see things the way they really are. But what I'm going to remind everyone repeatedly over and over and over again is listen to what you're feeling, what you're sensing. If something doesn't feel right about what you're feeling in opposition to what you're being told, listen to your gut knowing. We all have it. We all have that inner guidance. We all have intuition. We all have that deep awareness. And it hits us in the gut. Something's going on. And something big is coming. You're going to see this. So let's talk about, well, what Saturn actually is. Saturn is the planet that deals with truth, consequences, reality, and most of all, responsibility. We all have to be aware of what we are truly responsible for. And so much has been going on where people aren't in touch anymore. They're not in touch with reality, therefore they don't have their responsibility, nor do they have discipline or focus. That's all Saturnian. And let me give you a keyword that's going to really sum it all up. Saturn is karma, and therefore everything in accordance to the law of the universe will make sense because karma takes care of everything. There's no tricking or being lying or cheating. Karma settles everything, and karma equates to Saturn. So this is the time that this serious tone of what's really going on begins to come down, make sense. Now, remember what I said, that Capricorn and Saturn rule the government. So governments around the world, things are changing. Things have to change because nothing is as we are being told. We're being told one thing, but we're looking at what's really going on, and it's not adding up. Now let's talk about Mars. Mars is the planet that deals with events. Mars is the planet of action. So what is happening with Mars? Mars this entire month pretty much is going to be in Capricorn. And this is the strongest sign that Mars can actually be in. So it is in its exaltation sign, giving it power, giving it strength, giving it a push, which we have more strength and power than we've ever had. Internally, use this energy wisely because this push is going to take you to achieve the things that you've been postponing and not being able to fulfill your commitments with. So Mars in Capricorn, Capricorn again is ruled by Saturn. So it's time for the action towards responsibility, that things start making sense. And in a government ruling, this is going to start making sense. Laws, rules, things that needed to be abided by before are finally going to push forward. It has to start happening while Mars is in Capricorn, the sign of government, leadership. So leaders around the world, they're going to have to stand up and do what's right. This is what is going to occur in February. Now let's talk about the new moon that happens February 9th. It's going to be in Capricorn. So Mercury and Mars will be conjunct with this new moon. And Mercury is all about communications. Mars is direct. Mars is the focus and energy. So you're going to get this direct focus and energy towards the government and ruling. Things will begin to really change this month. You're going to see this is the month of a big turnabout. And even the sun will be in Capricorn, and the sun is leaders and leadership. This is what this month is all about. But let me just say this, because Mars is very contentious, Mars actually rules war. What can I say? It's aggressive, it's anger. And being in Capricorn, there are going to be political fights like you've never seen before. So this is all leading, though, to a bigger, more explosive understanding that is due in April when we have the eclipses, plus we have the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction. This is a huge transition and awakening. We have all been building, and every time it builds, we don't think we can build anymore to another crescendo, but it is. I call this the Great Awakening. Jupiter and Uranus in Aries, but they will conjunct in April, and this is where we're going. And what's going to happen, basically, and what is happening right now, is so many people are beginning to wake up. Everything they've been told ever since the pandemic and before that, and really been going on for so many years. People are starting to understand what this world is all about. And of course, it's always been about this. It's just that people are being made aware of it. More so, the world governments, those in power, can't get away with it much anymore because the facts speak for themselves. What you're being told is not necessarily the facts. But look at what's going on and look at what's happening in your world. How is this affecting your life in your world? That's what the reality is. And that's what we're all waking up to. And even in our spiritual beliefs, we're all waking up. It's like everything we've been told before. What if you found out that just about everything that we grew up on, well, not everything, but a lot of it is false. We've been guided the wrong way, and all of a sudden now we're seeing the truth, and it's unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people are going to go through, maybe most of you that are watching, you're already there. But a lot of people, this is going to affect. They're going to have, this awakening is going to be shocking to them. They're going to feel anxiety. They're going to feel a lot of shock. And for some people that don't want to believe it, that are going to stay in denial, there's going to be so much anxiety, and there's going to be denial where they will be extremely angry. So what we're really leading up to, in case you haven't figured this out, all over the world, but especially in the United States, there's going to be pretty much, and it's coming, a civil war. People are waking up and people are not listening to the rhetoric that has been occurring. So it's almost like this big war of, and it's always been the case in all the hero movies or the heroes of light and dark, good and bad, evil, good, whatever you want to call it, it's all there. And the forces of yin and yang, light and dark, have always been there. We're in a world of duality, and this duality is really shaking things up right now because it's not coming to, we are not coming to compromise. There are two divided sides that are digging their heels in harder, deeper. Both sides are demonizing each other. It's a wreck getting ready to happen, and people are going to fight, and it's all the great awakening that's happening that's causing this. Now, on a personal level, let me just say this is a wonderful time to wake up and get real. But also on more of a personal level, it's time to fix things. It's time to be responsible. It is time for us to look at all the things we've been procrastinating and be disciplined, focused, structured, organized. This is all Saturn's energy. And if you look astrologically, let me just say this. This is why Saturn is so powerful right now. Because in astrology, it is called the final dispositor of all the planets. And what that means astrologically, that the planets are in Saturn's sign when they're in Capricorn, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So it disposits to Saturn. Even when you look at Jupiter, Jupiter right now and Uranus are in Aries. But if you go to the ruler of Aries, which is Mars, it's in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. And then when you revert everything to Saturn as the final dispositor, it's the final dispositor because it is in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the sign that in Vedic astrology, we use the old rulerships. Saturn is in its own sign of rulership because Aquarius in the old rulership system that we use is ruled by Saturn. Now we take this even deeper into the nakshatras, which this is part of Vedic astrology, the 27 nakshatras. They're all rich with meaning, and their meanings are derived from the stars, the constellations that are in that portion of the zodiac that the nakshatra is, which is a section of the zodiac. So Saturn right now sits in the nakshatra called Shatabishak. And Shatabishak is the nakshatra that's called the 100 healers. And what this means is pretty much this entire year, Saturn is in that nakshatra. Saturn is in Aquarius. That nakshatra is wholly within the sign of Aquarius, which actually is the sign of humanity. So Saturn is bringing the karmic debt to straighten out humanity. It's coming together. The truth, the consequences, the karma, Saturn's bringing it all together. Anything that has been out of whack, been out of sorts, not balanced, is going to be balanced through Saturn. Because Saturn is the taskmaster, it's the worker, but it is what delivers karma. Karma, this is what's happening. What is karma? Cause and effect. What you do, you get back. So pretty much if you're so concerned about other people, make it about yourself, concern yourself about you. But everyone's going to get their dues. What they put out, they're getting back. The karmic result is happening. And that's a good thing. Things need to come to a head and be balanced. And everything that we do personally in our life, by working harder, being more responsible, making the changes that we've been wanting to make in order to achieve our goals. This is a month that you will have more energy, more drive, more ambition to achieve, and you will receive the results that you set out to do, because the work will prove out. Saturn gives you what you deserve. So if you've been working hard, guess what? The results will be seen this month. But as we know, nothing seems to make sense lately. It's like we're in a world of chaos. And the powers that have been at work want the world in chaos. Why? Because they can control us more. Look and see where you think. Ask your inner knowing where you think the world has been controlled. And one thing that I can tell you is things aren't adding up, because everything is more expensive now. Everything costs more. Are the salaries increasing? For the most part, not. So guess what? Everything is building to a big and greater debt, because people are spending what they don't have. Everything's been increasing, and people are wanting to continue on with their lives, the lifestyle they had before, while they're getting deeper and deeper in debt. So things are changing in accordance to all of what's been going on. This has been going on for a while. The big change is coming. But what's truly obnoxious, and we see it now, everything seems to be political. You know what? I think it always has been political. We just weren't aware of it. But now we are. This is what's been controlling everything. Politics, power, controlling the public. We've started to see all this from the COVID. And let me just say this. This is just causing us to see things the way it really is. So this month, while we have all the planets in Capricorn, you're going to see major political wars, major political fights, and don't trust what you hear or see. Listen to your gut by what's going on in your personal life. That's where you need to make the realizations or understanding as to what is going on, because and what's coming. And from what's going on and what we're being told, this is going to create a huge split. And we feel it, we sense it, we know it. So this time, I know I'm being repetitious, but let me make my point. Everything's controlled by Saturn right now. Saturn is the one that creates the karma and the debts, and it has to be paid. Even all the debts financially that are going on personally, as well as in governments around the world. This is a very, very confusing but serious time, because what we're going to have too this month is Mars is coming together with Pluto. And Pluto-Mars conjunctions, they're not rare, but they do, especially since Pluto's been in Capricorn, and Capricorn rules governments. And for the United States of America, there's a Pluto return. It takes about 244 or more years for Pluto to go through all 12 signs. The United States is having a Pluto return. And now we're going to have Mars hit it where it hurts in the United States chart, which is in the second house dealing with financial spending. It's about to hit the roof. Well, at least it already has, just the awareness. Like I said, Saturn is solemn and serious, and that's what we're feeling. And it rules politics and government leaders. This is what I'm talking about. This is what's controlled by Saturn, and this is the wake up. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, while I'm talking about Shatabishak, where Saturn is, that nakshatra, it's all about healing, the 100 healers. So we're going to be seeing, and I've been talking about this for a long time, many cures that will come about, mainly with mental disease and hard to cure diseases. We're seeing a lot of progress coming about, and the wake up with the pharmaceutical companies as well. What's going on with all of that? That's another Saturn wake up. But all at the same time, that nakshatra is also called the Sky Watcher, which rules space, it rules astronomy, it rules astrology, the stars, the heavens, what's out there, and aliens. Like I said, this year is the year the proof is out there. But as I said before, many do not want to believe, even with facts. And that's the way it stands. But what fascinates me is this is one of the biggest discoveries, really, of all time, that the aliens are here. And what blows my mind is people don't even care. Are you kidding? This is phenomenal. And yes, they've been here, and they're helping some of them. And let me just say this, we need the help. Now, another thing that's going on is Rahu is in Pisces, but Ketu is in Virgo. And this is a very powerful time. The last time that Rahu was in Pisces and Ketu was in Virgo during that time, well, this was 18 and a half years ago. And we can go back and find out that, yes, around 2005 or so, there was a lot that was starting up with the economy then. But the last time that Saturn was with this, we're going to get really deep into this, because there is a period in 2020 and 2025, that year, that is where the results of where this is all going is going to blow up. I will keep you posted, but there is going to be things that we haven't seen since 1968. That's the last time Saturn and Rahu came together in the sign of Pisces. Now they come together, what, about every 12 years or so, or 14 years, but not in that sign. And in 1968, go back, there were many devastating things that happened in the world, especially assassinations. But I'll keep you posted with that. Now, what I want you to focus in on this month and what's coming is health and healing. Because K2 being in Virgo is all about health and healing. And we've got to keep our eyes out for what's going on. Yes, you know, in this world of conflict and war, people are afraid of nuclear war, but let me just say this. It's biological war that is more devastating and will take more lives, just like it did in COVID. So be aware and be cognizant, because this is a problem during the whole time that K2 is in Virgo, and it's going to be in Virgo all the way till March and May. During those few months, that's critical, but that's where in May of 2025, that's how long we have, that K2 will be in Virgo and Rahu will be in Pisces. But Virgo deals with our health, and it could be losses of health and problems with disease, but all at the same time, it is going to create some cures for disease. So we're going to have it both ways, cures, but problems. We have to wake up and get healthy. We have to watch what we're doing and be healthier, to be able to be stronger through what is going to be happening throughout this time while K2 is in Virgo all the way till May of 2025. But right now, this month, governments, government policies, fighting, conflict, leaders are in trouble. It's disrupting our world and even our personal lives. It's a time of seriousness. It's a time of karma. It's a time to wake up. Now, what message I want to leave with you that's very, very important during these critical times, especially the month of February, it's a time to really look within. And I mean this wholeheartedly. We need times of meditation, of clarity, of clearing the mind, and getting in touch with our inner soul being, because that's where the truth lies, not with what you're being told, not with all the confusion, not with all the chaos out there. Your time of quiet, going within. We all must have times of meditation to feel and sense our soul and reconnect with our soul, our heart energy, because that is where we have the knowingness that will direct and guide our lives. It's going to give us the peace we need and the healing, because what is the most important thing in our lives, in our lifetimes? It is our spiritual growth. And when times get difficult, spiritual growth is the strongest. We can grow by leaps and bounds. Why? Because each time we're confronted with a difficult situation, we have to look at that situation as an opportunity for spiritual growth. And that means asking ourselves deep within, are we connecting to the spirit of the divine within us? This is what we're being directed to do, to connect with our inner spirit, with our heart, with our soul. And through these quiet times, this is where the truth will be seen felt and known through our inner guidance. I want you to connect to your inner guidance because that is connected to the divine, which you are a part of. And the more that you direct your energy to this part of you that is within the heart, that is pure love, this is where your life is going to transform. And this is truly the Great Awakening, where we all awaken to the reality and truth, not the chaos, the anger, the fear, but connect to the love. And that will give you protection, it will give you security, and most of all, it will bring you love and happiness. So connect to that part of you, and this will be where the change that needs to happen within you will reflect out to the world at large that needs it so much during this time. So with that, I think I'll close. Remember, if you would like to connect with me every week and be part of classes, live classes with me, join my Patreon page. There you can get discounts on classes, on books, and come together with telling me what you even want me to do YouTubes on. This is all part of my Patreon page. Down below is a direct link to it, or just go to my website, galacticsender.org. As well as, don't forget, if you want to become one of my astrology students, my class is beginning February 7th. It's an entire school to learn Vedic astrology. Go to universityof vedicastrology.com. Thank you.